So we have Lynn Wong here from First Com Solution and of course Lawrence from 3E Accounting. Okay, thank you for liking and sharing and joining NTUC's literally online Facebook Live. Okay, today, okay, we have a different topic from what we usually do. So I think if you have tuned in to Young NTUC's live career insight session, we have talked to HR officers, we have talked about mental health, we have talked about a lot of other things. But today we are going to be talking about exploring a career with an SME. And I think that is so important because I'll be sharing with you some amazing insights of how much the SME industry actually supports the whole workforce industry, right? So many of you, you're probably, graduating, just graduated. And you know what? We all know the pandemic, the COVID-19 came in really like Miley Cyrus' song, right? It came in like a wrecking ball. A lot of plans are derailed, right? And some of you, your hopes of, landing that dream job, all your dreams are crushed. You are going to be able to find a lot of jobs in the SME market because, like I said, I'm going to be sharing some insights with you. First and foremost, did you know that small, medium enterprises, SME, right? They form actually 99%, okay, of Singapore's enterprises. Today, we will be having two guests with us. As you can see on screen, we have Lawrence Chai, the founder of 3E Accounting. Lawrence, say hi.
Hi, hello everyone.
So tell us a little bit about your company.
Okay, so starting with me, right?
Mm.
So I actually the founder of Three Accounting. I started off the business in 2011. So with our aim is to promote like family-oriented cultures. So since that we implement like flexible work arrangements, staggered working hours. The staff can actually come in anytime to work and then finish their work at their timing that prefer. So we offer like accounting service, tax service, etc. So one-stop solution service to the SME and startup. So these are some about background about us.
Okay. Okay, so I think we're gonna be seeing, yay! We have a little slide here, right, to help people understand, the culture and what you do at 3E Accounting a little bit more. So, okay, tell us about the slides. Tell us about all these nice photos.
So you can see from the slide, so we are actually promoting family-oriented culture. So we have like a family day at Universal Studio. We also organize healthy activities like K-pop, exercise, and also we have like office lunch, office dinner, some to welcome the new staff to join us. Besides that, we're also focusing on adopt technology so that we can implement like work from home. So with the option of technology, we can even conduct virtual interview during COVID-19. So we have been hired, I think, during the COVID-19, I think until now, I think about. So all is done through virtually through conference call, like whether Zoom or Google Meet. Then at the same time, in this month, we also have our Hong Kong office opening. We did it with a virtual opening, means that everything is done online. Then we have the virtual office opening in Hong Kong. Although we are not there, we will show the video, the office in Hong Kong, and then with the all the guests we are invited, share some congratulation notes to us, etc. And we talk something about Hong Kong. Yeah, then the whole thing is done through online. That's the first virtual opening in the region, likely so far based on understanding from the Hong Kong government.
Right. So to sum it up, okay, 3E Accounting is hiring and has already hired 5 different new colleagues to join their team, right? Ever since the start of Circuit Breaker. And also they are opening a virtual office all the way in Hong Kong. So SME are still hiring a lot of people. Okay, I think all 3 companies here are going to be sharing about the positions available at all our companies a bit later into this live stream. But I think for now, you guys just need to know that be it the accounting industry, be it, the First Com is under, tech solutions, right? And be it NOC, whereas a media company, I think despite the pandemic, all of us are hiring. Today, what we'll be doing as the first part after our introduction is actually to be sharing the myths, okay, of working in an SME. So if you guys, you're watching and you're like, hey, I'm not sure if the SME culture is for me. Actually, I've never thought about SME as a viable option. to be employed, you know what? You can drop in all your questions in the Facebook comments section right now. And we will be going through a lot of them with you so that, you know what, at the end of the day, you expand your options and find a good company that you can actually work with rather than be very upset at home that you can't find a job. So the first myth, okay, is that SMEs are small. Okay, and a small company means there is no progression opportunities to move up a career ladder. That is the first myth. Who wants to debunk the first myth first?
Okay, I think I can start first, no problem. So actually for our firm, since I started the firm in 2011, of course starting with myself alone. And from there we grow until today in Singapore, we have almost about 50 staff. So since the day one, we already have like a career progression. So like when the let's say account executive join us, they know they're going to be a senior account executive, they can be progressed to assistant manager. So I think it's more on the culture of the company and the organization structure of the company and nothing to do with whether they are small or medium or large. Yeah, so it's not about the size lah. It's about the company.
Right. So you're talking about the roles and the responsibilities. They're still going to be there. It's not like you're going to be lacking a challenge, right? If you're in a smaller company in terms of numbers. Okay. So culture-wise, in a SME, right? Do you guys, since we're all SMEs, right? Do you guys think that the culture is more family-oriented? I think Lawrence, you mentioned also, right? You'll even go for K-pop class,
Yeah. Actually, I think as a SME, because usually the boss will know everyone. So generally, the culture is being built out. It's more family-oriented compared to the MNC. You got 500 over staff. No way the boss can even recognize who is the admin staff, who is the trainee. So for us, we even know who is the intern, who is the trainee, or who is the full-time staff just joined the firm. Or everybody, I will know them. Yeah.
Right. So I think if you're thinking about culture, I think we're agreeing here that be it 3E accounting or be it First Com Solutions or even in NOC, you guys know, right? It is more of a family vibe where you actually know every single person and you don't feel like you're just there to do a job and then you go home, you know? People like Lynn mentioned, right? If you want to take a dental 2 hours off, somebody will cover you. It's that kind of culture. I think it also stems from a lot of the founders and co-founders and also the management being Singaporeans themselves. So they really do understand, you know, the Singaporean landscape and the Singaporean work life, you know. So they can actually be able to help you in the small things rather than an MNC whereby while some people may enjoy you know, the rules coming from an overseas headquarters, but I think for people who are more family orientated, you might actually consider SME as a good choice simply because I think the people there are more family based and less regimental. So the next question I have here is, I think it's quite funny lah. Okay, SME does not offer job security because look at the amount of retrenchments happening in the economy due to COVID-19. Okay. Who wants to answer this first? I think the fact is that many companies are affected, right? But I think at the start of this live stream, we already mentioned everybody here is still hiring. So if we're talking about job security, SME not offering that. Do you guys think that it is a trend that people tend to say about SME? That the jobs are not stable? Why do you think they say that?
I think there are misconceptions that it's nothing to do with whether it's a SME or not SME. Because even you see in the news, usually the retrenchment is the big MNC company, and most big MNC companies have retrenchment also. So, but compared to SME, we actually can act faster. We are more flexible, especially during the COVID-19 crisis. We adjust accordingly. We adapt very fast. We even on the same day when there's a circuit breaker come, we immediately redesign our workflow, let all the staff go back home and work, even including the receptionists. But that is something for MNC is very hard to adjust on next day because they got 500 staff. How to adjust next day? So with that, actually, I think SME is more resilient for the crisis compared to the MNC. So the job security wise also, I think it depends on companies, not so much on whether the size is small or big. Yeah.
Right. I think the myth here is that people are saying, is it if I work in an SME, I must double up or triple up in roles? Is that true or false? Let us know your thoughts, both of you. So Lawrence, what about you?
Yeah, I think it's everywhere is the same. Even when you go MNC, then you still have to work very hard, very busy as well. Yeah, so for us the same. It depends what the job role is. I think is more important. Like we met based on the staff expectation. Like some staff will then when they join us, they will say, I have a kids to take care, I have to go back home on time, I need the flexible work. Then we understand the staff and we will adjust accordingly based on their needs. So that we will really go back on time and pick up their kids. The morning they will come in on time, etc. Also, we have a management trainee program, allow the staff to work more beyond what they can, like they will be at the same time doing accounting, secretary, even the management trainee we also doing for business in Hong Kong. They will have consultation with the Hong Kong customer as well through technology. All can be done in Singapore. So it really depends on the staff needs, I think.
Right. And I think we have a question on the Facebook live stream. It's by Tommy. He says, does SME companies allow employees to join union? So are you guys both under the union also?
Currently we
are
are.
not under.
Right. So currently you guys are not under the union.
Under-
But I think for
for-
Tommy's question,
No, for my firm is under the union. We are the first unionized SME accounting firm in Singapore.
oh, you are. Okay,
Yeah, we
okay.
joined the union is last year because we find the union actually give a lot of benefit to our staff. Like we get the extra insurance cover, there's a member discount, as well as they will
Correct,
support us to form a company training committee, to upskill our employee, etc. So there's many benefits we enjoy after we discussed with the union. So we decided to make a move to be the first one in the industry, the SME accounting firm to be part of the union.
Right. So I think for your question, Tommy, it really depends on the company. Not every company is on the union, including the MNCs. You really have to do a check, right? So some SMEs are in, some MNCs are in, but there are also people who are not. So if you're talking about the three of us now, 3E is in and NOC is in, but FirstCom is not in yet. So I think that if you're very concerned about whether it's a union thing, you have to do the research and actually or ask the people who, in the company whether that is it. But the next question we have is from Maximus Tan. Okay, he asked, is it true that the welfare of SMEs are not comparable to MNCs? I think this is a very interesting question because I think when I was younger and I was doing a job search, that was the question I asked also. Is it like I won't get like the company benefits? Is it like I have to settle a lot of things myself because small company means not so rich? So tell us a bit about the company benefits that you offer to your employees.
Okay. So for our company, actually, I guess it also depends on the companies. It's not about MNC or
Yes.
SME.
Correct.
So because you do need to pay, you need to pay a good welfare in order to attract the talent. If not, you can't get the talent. You pay very low. No one will want to join you. So like us, we also have reimbursed the employee for their family members, like medical reimbursement or even like the gym membership, they can reimburse or whichever. There are a lot of benefit like MNC is giving. We're also giving like their insurance. We allow them to claim for their hospitalized insurance, like MediShield Plus, etc. So it really depends lah.
Yes. No, I 100% agree. So Maximus, if you're listening in, right? I think for SMEs, for all the SME I know, right, I think that we are really very concerned about developing each and every one of our staff because for us, probably in a sense, they are not so indispensable, as compared to an MNC, whereby they look for accountant, they are probably like 40, 50, that they don't know their names to their face, right? So they're not so concerned about their personal development. But I do believe that SMEs in particular, we actually utilize a lot of our skills future. We utilize a lot of training to develop each and every one of us, which brings me to the next point, right? Which I want to say I don't agree first. But the question is actually, SMEs do not have resources to grow and develop their human capital. I want to say I do not agree. In fact, I do believe that SMEs are the one that spends the most time and effort to grow and develop the human capital. What do you guys think?
And yeah, I think I agree with Sylvia, because SME, we actually definitely not that easy to attract talent compared to MNC. They easily can get maybe a few hundred, few thousand on resume, but we may not be the case. So every talent we get, we really spend the time with them, talk to them. Also, like say, there will be plan a career progression, send them for external training, so that make sure they are productive. And after we give so much training, of course, we'll try as much as possible to retain them as well. So yeah, so that's the case.
I think 100% I do believe. I think for COVID situation, I think myself and all my colleagues, we also attended a lot of the Skills Future courses together. Right, so I do believe strongly that because SMEs, right, the culture is more family orientated. So it makes sense, right, that we know each other's potential. And I think for like the bosses or the managers, or the co-founders, we actually do put in a lot of time, to see how to develop a talent further, so that obviously it maximizes their productivity for one thing. So I think this is a very bad myth that I hope that we can clear for you guys today, because I think the fact is SMEs do care a lot, and I would say on a personal basis, they care more than an MNC. Right, they care a lot more than an MNC. So I think we have a next question from Dominic, which will bring us to the next segment. So Dominic is actually saying, right, is there SME company? I mean, so where should I find these SME jobs? Who's hiring? Bro, I just said from the start, all three of us are already hiring. We're all hiring, okay? And in fact, 3E Accounting has just hired 5, and then Firstcom is also on the process of hiring, and NOC is hiring. But you know what? Let's just give him a little bit more details, right? So actually, for 3E, where are you finding all these people? What sort of platforms are you using? I think for NOC, right? I think all our job search ads are on LinkedIn, and we are also part of obviously the lit.sg program, where we offer up positions. So where can they sign up for your jobs?
For our job, if for the trainee, of course, you can find in the WSG portals. Usually in the job portals, so all the traineeship the program is there. So you can also find there's I think I see in the news that 10 over 1,000 of job is in the job portals. So all can find there for the SME job. As well as we also advertise in JobStraight. Also can apply through our website or LinkedIn or even Facebook. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so we are all posting on the same page, and we're competing with each other for talent.
Yeah, there's a lot of SMEs competing. Yeah, not just us.
Right. So I think like what Lawrence has mentioned earlier, right? There are like 10,000 over jobs, right? And the traineeships that's going to be available via the program. So if you're not on these websites already, right, you are really losing out in terms of finding out, the availability of the jobs offered by SMEs. And I think not just on these platforms, right? You can also go to individual companies and, their websites, and really just drop them an email or whatever, to just drop them a resume. And one of the questions that I have received is actually, SME are not able to meet my pay expectations. Do you think that is true or false? I think one more thing is also, I think for a Singaporean or a local youth that you're actually looking for an SME, I think one of the factors you have to look at is that probably in an MNC, you don't have so much of an impact on how much the company is able to make. But I think for us SMEs, I think your effort really will directly impact the performance of your company. And I think that is a very great factor when you are asking for a pay raise.
Yeah, I think just like our firm, if for individual performance will be much more appreciated. That means that when you do something, you do beyond what you expected, you will be rewarded accordingly. Your increment will not be like just a flat percentage. Usually, if you are outperformed, you might have some staff maybe have 20% raise or 30% raise. So it's really depend on their performance, how fast they can grow, and it's more flexible because the boss know everyone. We assess individually. So generally, it's more flexible for the SME compared to the big firm. Also, for the MNC, sometimes they maybe need you to work very long hour. Yes, the starting pay may be very high, but the hour is very long. So end up if you calculate hourly rate, you maybe it's McDonald. You work at McDonald maybe more is better paid. So by compared to our firm, our pay is still very competitive and higher compared to this MNC. If you really take in this consideration, because like Google, you expect maybe work in their office, you never go home because the office is so comfortable. So it's really nice. Yeah, how you look at it lah. Yeah.
Yes, 100%. I do believe that SMEs do look out for their people and do reward things simply because as a very local based company where you actually know each of your employees, you're really able to see when somebody is making a positive impact. And to really reach out to that person and be it promotion or be it a pay raise, it is easier for the boss to really notice what you're doing, right? So the next thing that we'll be sharing is actually we'll be talking about the cool working space. I think Lawrence, you mentioned a little bit, right? If you work in Google, the place is so comfortable and then whatever, and you secretly not going home, right? But let's talk about our office spaces, right? Just so everybody has an idea of what working in an SME, what's the office gonna look like. So I'm currently in my office. Right. So I would say the NOC office is extremely messy, but it is also quite personalized, quite fun. But how about like for both of you? Because I have never worked in an accounting firm before, nor have I worked in a tech solution firm. What does it look like?
I think for accounting firm, generally we're more professionals because we are like considered like a profession, accountant, tax agent. Yeah, you have the impression quite boring sometimes. So, but of course, we still make our working places very like family oriented. We have like 3 nursing room. We have a kids room. A lot of our staff even bring the kids to stay in the kids room and playing sometimes.
Oh, you have a kids room.
Yeah, we have some of the working mothers. Let's say there's sometimes like a school holiday, something like that, or there's a public holiday, so that the kids cannot is too small to stay at home. Then we just bring to the office space also. Someone got emergency, etc. Yeah, so that's why we have a cater for the kids room as well. So I can say that yeah, of course you cannot expect like Google, you have free lunch. Yeah, I think but if everything eat the same thing in the canteen is probably boring also. So you may prefer to eat outside. Yeah, so that is generally the SME working place, I can say.
Right. I think just a little bit more because I think it's interesting that you mentioned there's a kids room, there's a nursing room, right? And you are clearly a man, right? So at which point did you install this? Is it because the staff asked for it or like they feedback to you? Like what was the process in you putting those rooms in for your employees?
Yeah, I think like the nursing room, of course, the staff ask for it because they are working mother. Usually after they have the maternity leave, they are breastfeeding. So they usually will request for that. So that's why we think when we are starting our office, when we do the renovation, so we consider that in based on their request. Like the kids, the room also the same. We see sometimes the employee that bring their kids to the office to work, then they maybe just sit beside them. So we're thinking, like sometimes customer pass by, say, hey, how come got a kids in your office? So then we're thinking, okay, it's maybe better we have a kids room. So yeah, it's more comfortable for the kids as well and the mothers. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's very interesting to note that for 3 accounting, right, he not just have the nursing room, he not just have the kids room, but the fact that he actually allows his staff to bring in their children to work. And I think we've answered the previous question about benefits and everything, right? I think it really depends on what kind of benefits you are looking at. And if you're looking for a benefit that's very personalized, I think you can find that in an SME, right? I think that is.
We have more working mothers. Yeah, we have more working mothers.
Yes. I mean, for a fact, I think it's very interesting to see how for SME, right, you can kind of see the culture really appearing in their workspace. So if you're working moms, right, you know already, this one 3E sure have a lot of mums one because he has the kids room, he has nursing room. But if you see the other one, what, they got games lah, got vending machine lah, got lounge, means the people are young. Right? I think it's very simple to just take a look at, what is the culture of the SME that you're going to be joining, simply from this fact. So they want to know what are the job opportunities offered by each company and where to apply. Okay, so here's where we tell you what kind of people we need. And if you're listening in, please apply and send in your resume. Okay, who wants to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. Yeah, we need to show the slide, is it?
Oh, yes, we have a slide. So, okay. Go, Lawrence.
Okay. So we actually provide like one-stop solution service, accounting, tax, crowd solutions, even website design. Actually, we also have an IT team handle that, or web development, etc. So you can see, so we actually hiring a traineeship. First is the graduate trainee for professional. So there's a regional working experience for this role. Also, you will also supporting like Hong Kong office, Malaysia office, or overseas like India office. So there will be a lot of regional exposure for this role, as well as also there's a digital and research team, which is research in the area of social media, digital marketing, website, etc. So the same also there's a regional exposure, even Hong Kong or Malaysia, etc., which we have offices there. As well as we also currently have a global accounting network of 80 countries worldwide. So we also support some of them for the work for this digital and research. As well as a software developer, because we believe the technology is the future. So we have our in-house software developer team to develop our software and improve productivity levels. So we're also hiring for that. As well, we also have a full-time position for admin executive to support like KYC, compliance admin, or office admin, even support like sometimes renovation of the overseas office, etc. Yeah. So you can apply through our website, www.3cpa.com.sg/careers. Yeah, and send in the resume to us.
Right. So just a little bit more about the career options available at 3E, right? Just to check, right? What kind of a degree or what kind of what must they be studying to apply?
Usually it's degree. As long as it's degree, somewhere relevant like the professional, maybe degree in accountancy, degree in business admin, degree in economy is more relevant. Easiest to so-called catch up or adapt to it. The digital and research probably like the marketing degree or like new media degree or media related degree. Software developer usually is computer science degree or even IT degree, etc. Engineer degree. Admin executive more on whether it's a diploma or degree in admin, business, quite wide. Even we sometimes even chemistry, engineering, all is yeah, admin is still quite general in terms. Yeah.
Okay. So I think Lawrence has just shared that they're kind of looking at people with this kind of educational background, which I would have to say it is a wider range that I expect. I only expect him to say accountancy and auditing, but I think he has given us a full range, right, of whatever thing that you study. You can also apply for 3E accounting. Before we go to the closing, Lynn and Lawrence, do you have anything to say, to the young graduates, right, who are finding a job and they are feeling sad?
I think for the young graduate, what my advice to them is that they have to focus on learning on the skill set rather than just looking at the salary, what being offered. Because as long as they get the job with a good prospect, so they definitely can grow very fast. They can get the ultimately get the pay they want to, rather than they get a job that do not have a prospect. Even the starting pay is very high, but there's no career progression. So and also it may not be that stable in long run as well. So they should focus on getting their skill set. It's more important than the pay.
Right. To sum it up, I think Lawrence is saying that you shouldn't be so particular about making sure and disregarding all companies who can't hit a certain pay rate in your head, because at the end of the day, I think some things are beyond what a salary can buy, which is whether you're actually learning in a job, or and you're improving yourself on a daily basis, or you're just doing the same thing over and over again for the same amount of money. Yes, it might be great, but it also means that you're actually not really growing, right? And if you want to progress in your career, we always need to be learning. So find a job, that actually gives you challenges. Yes, and Lawrence.
I think for me, the same. Since the day one when I start working is working with a SME. So we work in an audit firm in the SME previously. So I think SME good thing is you just like you're sharing is that we can learn a lot of things in a very short period of time. The progression is very fast. So I get promoted in like to assistant manager maybe in just 2-3 years time. So compared to if you work in an MNC, very hierarchy, you have to slowly climb up the ladder, probably 10 years or even longer. So there's a lot of flexibility in the SME, and you get to learn a lot of things. Sometimes also very fun and interesting. So that your boss maybe ask you to do something you never expected. Like maybe buy them a coffee or whichever. So I think it's more flexible. You have the personal relationship with the boss really compared to in the MNC as well.
Right. So thank you so much for sharing all your insights, right? And for those of you watching, thank you for staying with us till the very end. I think it is like Lynn said, right? If you can't find a job or you are not actively searching, maybe take this time to actually gain all the experiences and going for all the courses to position yourself better for your future career when the economy gets better. Or if you want to be more adventurous and you want to, like Lawrence said, to start building a lot of skill sets on the job, you can actually start applying for all the opportunities offered by be it 3E Accounting or FirstCom or NOC, Lit.sg, or even the WSG 10,000 jobs available, right? So I think it's very important that you're actually actively looking for something if you just graduated, or like I said, if your friends are graduating and they're finding a job, please let them know, okay, what you have learned today. I think it's very important to support each other during this time, right? So with that, thank you so much, Lawrence, for joining us. Thank you so much, Lynn, for joining us. And once again, thank you for watching. And we hope that this time you have learned something about SMEs as well. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye. Thanks. Bye-bye.